just briefly say about your last project responsibility for you and the work mode, all those things in a very quick manner?
Okay, so it was a bit a CMS type of project like where I have where I have got the Figma designs, and I have converted into the React components. So and also integrated the REST APIs part on it, to reflect the data from the backend. And except this, I have also integrated the payment gateway part there to make the payment.
Okay. And what about the team size?
It was a 15th of team in front end only.
15.5.
Yeah, in front end.
Okay. And what about its backend technology? What was that?
Actually, client was using Python for it, so I have no idea because they had already backend developed. So only we get the APIs only and our
Yeah,
requirement.
that's okay. That's okay. Just trying to understand what's the backend and all,
Okay,
the
so it was
technology
developed
stack
on
that is.
Python.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You have only worked with that company, right? That
No, no. Before this,
last.
I was working with Asot. So it was a product-based company that is an e-commerce company actually. So I was
Okay.
using the React.js also there. So the home page and the cart part to and also some admin panel pages I have designed there. So it was a short period of time, and because of the COVID, the company was almost shut down. So we
Oh,
had to
okay.
left.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we can start with a few JavaScript based questions first.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. Um, and one more thing before that, which version was you are using for the React?
I'm using the latest one.
Okay.
So like after the I've also experienced actually when I was learning, there was it was a class based component mostly used. So after that, after 16.8, we have no function based component also, where we can implement the hooks. So after that, I'm using functional based components mostly.
Okay. So you are mostly working with the latest React uh, technology. So I mean the latest React techniques. So you must be aware of ES6 features and all, right?
Yes,
Few
right.
of them at least.
Hmm.
Okay. So what is basically an arrow function?
So actually, in arrow function, what happens? It first the difference is our syntax. So let's suppose I'm writing in the comment section. So let's suppose we can write something like this, ABC, something like this. Also, like we can remove the curly braces if we are we can write the inline function, so we can remove the curly braces from here and directly return something value, like let's suppose I'm returning 5 here. And on some part, like if there are only one parameter, so we can also remove the the bracket part from here, so directly we can pass the value something like this, and we can return it.
You can better share your screen with
Okay, sure, sure, sure.
so that you don't need to write all this.
Mm-hmm.
In the chat, it's difficult, right?
Okay.
Maybe in Notepad or in some online platforms, online coding platforms, you can choose your own.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So on syntax wise, we can write something like this. Also, it has a feature something what happens in regular functions. Actually, we need to bind this keyword that we have. But in with arrow function, we do not need to bind with this keyword because it already knows who is its parent.
Okay. Okay. And what is basically a callback function?
So callback that means we can pass a function to the another function as an argument, so that later if any operations succeed, we can return the value on it using that function that we are passing, and later we can handle it.
And can you just write it down? A very simple example.
Yes, sure. So let's suppose I have a function here.
No, better you write in that JS period, otherwise it's difficult for you.
Okay, so let's suppose I have a function. I will name it call b. Okay, and here I'll be passing the callback function. So let's suppose I have a value let total is equal to 5. So using callback we can return it from here. So once this operation done, we can handle the callback.
Okay. Okay. Do you know what is a recursive function?
Recursive function.
Yeah.
Okay, so in recursive, yes, we can implement the same function here. Let's suppose I have a CB, so we can return something. Let's suppose something this callback, and let's suppose, so it's the syntax for it is something like this.
Okay. So basically, what it should be. I can ask you a different way so that you can express that in a simple way. So, assume that you are going to have going to get a number like
Hmm.
3 or any integer number. What you have to do is you have to calculate the sum of remaining numbers. Like if suppose I'm inputting 3, then you have to calculate the sum of 3 plus 2 plus 1. But you have to use a recursive function. So how can you achieve that?
Okay, so for that, let's suppose the console log here. So if I put here 3, so it should be 3 into 2 into 1, something like this, right?
Yes, yes, exactly.
It should
But
be.
you have to use a recursive function for that.
Got it. So one thing I can do here, let the value first. Then we can return whatever value I'm getting here into call me. And what it will do, it will decrease the value inside it. Can I run it?
Yes, yes, of course.
Okay, maximum color, so we have to handle it. So here we can check if the value is 0, so can at the last it should be 1 or so at the 0 it should be stopped. Next, yes, so here it is.
Okay.
So it is repeating this function.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question is something like that is also a logical related question. Like assume that you are going to have a string with a string value. I can input that in your chat. Okay. This is the string value, and what you have to do is you have to identify the first non-repeating character. I mean, in this example, it is C because A and B are repeating again, right? So, how will you find it out?
Actually, I'm not getting the question. So what will be the output for
Like
it?
this is a string. This will be a string. Like this is all. This is a string. Where and what you have to identify is the first non-repeating character from this string. Like A, B, C, A, B, because C is the one which is not repeating in this string. Because A, B, both characters are repeating again, right? Not in it may not be in the order, but it is repeating.
Okay.
But C is not repeating. C is the only character in this example. It is the only character which is not repeating at all. So that you have to identify using a program.
Okay, so like it should be output should be C. Let str is equal to I'm just testing a method actually here, like if it works in the right way or not. Okay. Second thing, like you can check. Zero. Next thing. Last index of A. 3. Will still be C. Will have the value of 2 the C for the B. Yes. So here I can do one thing, like I will loop here where I will check the index for like first character index of I mean the character of A, let's suppose, and the last index of the same. So if the value is different, then we should ignore it. And if the value is like same, like C has the index of and last index of the same, so we can return it.
Okay. So can you just complete that?
Yes, sure. So function non-repeat and I will pass the str for I will make a loop here less than str of the length. I will loop it to the length of it. Next I will increase. Now I will store the index character first. So like str dot caret. So caret for the every I, for every character it should be stored here. Now one thing I can do, so let's suppose if str of the index last index, so return a value j, and it should be dynamically, so I have to write it index of j, index of j. Now let's console.log non-repeating, and I'm passing str. Yes, so here it is returning C.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then that's all about the JavaScript related queries. Okay. Now we can move on to the React-based questions. Okay. Uh, and you said that you are working with both. Earlier you have worked with class-based component, and right now you are working with function-based component. So since you have worked in both techniques, are you identifying any similarities so that it is relatable to, there are something which is relatable to class components and function components. So is there any similarities between them? What are your thoughts?
Okay, so actually, the main difference, if you ask about the class-based component, so we extract it from the React. So like we write something extend keyword we use. So we have to use it from the ReactJs, extend it from the ReactJs. But in functional component, what happens? We do not need like whatever we generally write the function. So same thing we have we write it, and now whatever we could achieve in class-based component previously after the 16.8 version, now we can have access to the function-based component also. So like suppose we had the lifecycle hooks in class-based component, now we can achieve it using the hooks in functional-based component.
Okay.
All those three lifecycle methods, like for the mounting, updating, and unmounting.
Okay. Okay, so in class-based, in function-based component, which are the hooks you have frequently used?
So, I have used all those three hooks for the mounting and updating and unmounting. So using huge effect, we can achieve it.
Okay. Um, so we can have an actual example so that we can easily demonstrate your whole idea about these hooks and also. Um, I have the problem is something like I need to call an API, a REST API, and you have to call this REST API from a functional based component, and it should be called at two different scenarios. Like the first scenario, it should be called when the functional component mounts, and the second scenario is when the functional component unmounts. So how will you call this API?
Okay. So let's suppose in functional based component, I'm writing in JS pedal. Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's okay.
So for the call API when mount, and second thing unmount, right?
Right, correct.
Okay. So we in functional component we can use the use effect hook here. So the syntax will be something like this. And inside the this array bracket, if we do not pass anything, so it will call only once when the component loads. So it will works component did mount, component
Okay.
did mount. Is it font visible, or should I increase the font size?
A little bit you can use. Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. So if we are calling the API here, so let's suppose I will use a function, asynchronous function I will call. Let's suppose function fetch API, where it will I will to make the call for the API, I will use the fetch here. So something any API like HTTPS, like abc.com, whatever ID it has, something like this it will be. And using then and catch, we can handle this catch. Okay. So inside the catch, inside the then it will have the result. So if we do console log here, we will get the result from here. And if we find any error, if any error if it has been mistaken with the API, so it goes to the error part. And here I can, sorry, not this one, we can call it here. So on component did mount, it will be called something like this. And let's suppose I have to make this call in unmount. So all we need to do here, no, this one, we can achieve the same thing here using the return, using return, yes, return, something like this. Calls when unmount. So this one will call when unmount, and this one will call when did mount.
Okay. Yeah, that's okay. Okay. Have you used useref for your function company?
Yes, I have used it, but not the most of the time. But I know what it does and how it works.
Um, okay. So, have you used routing techniques in your project?
Yes, I have used.
Okay, so can you just write a simple routing with two pages?
Okay, so we can add something route. Sorry, not this one. So we had to set like where it should be linked at what page. Let's suppose it should be linked to the home page, and next I will assign the component on it. So whatever component we have made, let's suppose I have the component of function home. Sorry, no. Okay, that will be returning the component. Let's suppose I'm returning the h1 here. Home. And next thing I will have the page for about. So that inside the route we can write here about, and it will consider this component.
And what will be the outer syntax of this route? You have defined this route, but it should be encapsulated in a different tab, so that.
Sorry, I'm not getting actually.
This is just a route you have defined. That's okay, but it's not properly defined.
Okay. So you are telling that the whole code you want to see, right?
Yeah, the very simple thing, like need not to be highly that much. Just a simple thing, the bare minimum things.
So we can import something called
No need to import and all, but it should this route tag should be inside a different thing. Otherwise, it won't work.
Okay, so we can use the exact here.
No, not that one. What I'm asking, you have written a route here, but that route should be inside some other thing inside. Otherwise, this route won't work because this route doesn't understand where to show the route itself.
So like, are you asking about the linking, like how we can move?
No, not about linking and all. Linking is all not that one. This you have defined this route, but this route definition should be inside this should be properly inside another tag. That is the thing which you are missing right now.
Okay, so you're asking the type bar should be the above of it, right?
Yeah, it should be wrapped inside another thing. That's the only thing I'm missing.
Okay. So I will let me write the whole code here, so it will.
Okay, yeah.
So it will be better to understand. So using router, we can it will work, by the way. So let's suppose I have any function no, it should be routes actually. Actually, I forget what we import routes, or it was router. So let's suppose I have a class named app. Okay, and I will extend it to the component of the ReactJs.
Yeah, that's okay. The class and all, you don't need to define. That I got. That I got it.
Okay.
That's it.
Then at last, in class component, we have to return it something like this. So it should work.
And have you used any techniques which we can use in React so that even if the page crashes, it won't affect the working of application? Have you used any techniques for that? Like assume that in your home page, you are including some tags like H1 and you are including some heading, right? So there you are somehow accidentally you have might created some error. So if something that happens, the entire React application will crash and will give you a blank page. So handling for such scenario, what usually you done?
Okay, like it should handle the crash of the React application, right?
Rendering part, yes. If something happens in between, like you are somehow loading some data from the backend and data loads, but some data is missing at the UI side and the rendering crashes. Then handling such kind of situation, what you usually do?
Actually, I remember about the class-based component. Like we had a component did catch for it.
Okay.
So the syntax was something like this: component did catch. Sorry, component did catch. So like if we pass any error, so using this we can see like what errors occurred in our components, any components.
Okay, but if you are using a functional based component, then how will you handle that?
Okay. So one thing our in our syntax we can use the error handling thing like try catch, but you are not asking about that, right?
No, not that one. I'm only asking about the thing which we might occur at the rendering part, not any logical.
Got it. So for it, what we can do? No, I don't have idea. For the coding part, in functional based, no, I don't have idea about it. I'm not sure about it actually.
Okay, okay. Yeah. Okay. Mm, okay. Have you used any lazy loading techniques in your project?
Yes, I have used.
Okay, and for what kind of a purpose we have to use a lazy loading?
So let's suppose I have on this component. Suppose it takes the time to load the home component here. So here we can use the logi loading. So until it loads this component, there can be seen like any loading thing or any text, temporary text we can render there until it loads. So it would be better for our performance of the application. So and the syntax would be something like this: React dot lazy, and then no before this, let's suppose I have to use the home component here. So we can write something React lazy, and we can inside a function we can directly import whatever component we want. Let's suppose I have the home component. So what it does, like if we are making call on the home page, so it will only loads the home part only, not the about. Actually what happens in single page application, when it loads it will load the whole components whatever it has the available. But in this scenario, it is a part of code splitting, so it will only load the home page when we are on home route. So it works something like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's the end of the session for better. Okay, so um, do you want to know anything else other than anything about Quest or project or anything?
No issue. So, like, if
Uh,
I get selected, like, what type of project I'll be working on, and what are the technologies I'll be working on?
okay. Actually, this vacancy is for React-based developer, and this is basically a platform which we are developing for a low-code platform. Something you might have here, like the end user may, only need to drag and drop a few components, and the person can easily create an application. That kind of a thing is low-code platform. So we are basically generating this with the React-based technology. So, and we are using TypeScript for developing this. For for the development purpose, we are using TypeScript.
That's also fine.
Okay, so and also we are as a part of backend, we are using Node.js. So
For the backend, right?
Yes, for the backend.
So,
The
so let's suppose I'm working on the front end and I'm also interested working on the back end, like you told about the Node.js. So will I get any chance on it, or I have to only focus on the front end only?
no. Usually, we will anyone will get the chance, like because it's basically JavaScript, right? So
Right.
a front-end person need not to work on that only. I mean, only the front-end part. It's not that. It's not like that.
Okay.
Like we will get. I mean, usually people will get to work on both sides. Like you will have some front-end part, and there will be definitely will be some kind of a back-end related activity. So for that, if there is no backend developer available, most of the time there are backend developers. So you, the front-end person need not to work on backend, but there are times which a backend developer also need to work. Sorry, the front-end developer also need to work on the backend side. So it's not a big deal, like, because it's the same technology, right? Basically, it's a JavaScript thing. So
Yes, right.
most of the developers can handle such situations. So you will get, I mean, whoever working with the front end also will get a chance to work on Node.js part. That's the usual work scenario.
Okay, that's fine. So thank you, Milton. That's
Yeah, thank you, Roshan. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, I assume that the HR will definitely contact you.
Okay, thank you.